So I am currently 1 month post D&C from a missed miscarriage, and I'm going to be very open throughout this process. So the first few pages of this show you the instructions and some definitions throughout your cycle, as well as an example and some note pages. Okay, I've gone ahead and kind of filled out the first section here. We've got cycle 2. I started my period on May 18th, which is a few days ago. So I went ahead and did May 18th. My period was light. This is actually my last cycle back in February, where we conceived on our 3rd pregnancy and then ended up in the miscarriage. So this is what it will look like 1 month complete. All right, I'm ready to fill you in. I need to add another piece of tape. I started tracking on cycle day 7 here. And then I need to take this off. And then I've got my test strips here. So that's cycle day 7 and 8. And I actually did start using the electronic ovulation test on 7, and I got no fertility, and then I went straight to peak. So we'll see how this cycle ends up. Cycle day 9. Sorry, the background noise of my girlies. And then today on cycle day 10 on May 27th, my husband and I had a little bit of sexy time here. And this one was low, peak, and then I do feel, oh, I got some sticky tape here. I feel like this one is probably at a going back down to a low again. So we'll see. All right, 2-day check-in time. I've got my double-sided sticky tape applied, and I've got my test strips. So I have my test strips, and I have them for yesterday, and then today's is significantly noticeable on the difference here. I'm going to go ahead and put low and low. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a little heart for some spicy time right there. And I'm going to start counting my DPO. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, and so on for days past ovulation. 11. I'll go to DPO 20. And the other easy to go back in. Okay, I have everything filled out now. I've hit my peak between one of these 2 days. I went ahead and filled out the DPO all the way up to 20 DPO, and I will come back around the 3rd, 4th, 5th and start tracking for HCG. Just a reminder again, if you ever have any questions, you can come back to this instruction sheet and you can read through this. I wanted to show you my go-to prenatals, fertility support, multivitamins that I've gone to for my past 2 pregnancies and what I'm using now. In the past, I have used this ritual, which was always great for me. I love it. It kind of smells like a lemon. And it's really easy on the stomach. I never really had any issues with or without food, so I've always taken this for the last 2 pregnancies. I love that. And then as well as that one, this go around, I decided to go with the Pink Stork fertility support for her and the probiotic, which I have been using now for about a month, and same thing, no issues, love it. Hopefully it's working well. And then for my husband, this men's fertility support and the total multivitamin. So I'll let you know if I change anything up, but this is kind of my setup for now. It's been a few days and I'm ready to check in again, and unfortunately hormones took over and I started my cycle again. I am not bummed out, but it was definitely unexpected because I had just had my period over a week and a half ago. So we get to start a new cycle, and that's okay because I know post DNC, you don't know what's going to happen with your body and your cycle. We get to start a new month. I ended up starting my cycle again on May 30th. So we're going to go, this is cycle 3. And I'm going to fill out here. So just a little backstory, if you haven't been following, I'm also tracking my HCG because post DNC, I was still having pregnancy symptoms and my HCG is taking forever to slow down and completely go away. But we did get good news the other day. I had a beta test and it went down 2 weeks later from 59 to 10. So we're just short of it being at 0 or 5. And then we know I'm in the clear and there's nothing left in my body. But with that being said, I feel like maybe I can get a better reading on my ovulation strips and start a fresh new cycle. So I'll check back in a few days and we will continue to track and hopefully get a full month and have it be a positive one. So hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Welcome back to my check-in day. Actually, not day, it's been a few days. And I have started tracking my ovulation this time earlier, just for the sake of getting those first few lows or negative ovulation tests to then clarify later on when it does peak. In the past, when I have started testing, I am like right at peak. So I never know if it's really accurate or not. Obviously, in the past, it has been as I've become pregnant, but I just always questioned myself, and this time I just didn't want to. The first one I have here was a few days ago on the 4th. And sorry, I'm trying to do this behind the camera. Let's see. And then this morning. So both are negative. All right, good morning. I've got a quick check-in from this morning. I did another test strip and the electronic strip, and I got a high flashing. So that was really good to see. Okay, I told you I would show you what I have in my bathroom fertility bin. I had some of you curious as to how I kind of put it together, and just wanted to show you. I've got just a kind of a small size bin that fits on one of my shelves in my bathroom. And I just kind of repurposed some things that I already had in the house. So right here I've got the Ovulation cheap test strips. And then I like to have the electronic versions here. We've got some more. So just restocked. There's that. And then I like to just kind of put the instructions in the back in case I need to come back to them. And then I've got my pregnancy strips here. So I've got those two. And then, oh, let me go back to this ovulation one. Totally forgot about this. This I'm trying is new. This is Modern Fertility. So this one are strips. They give you a line guide, and then you can also take a picture on their app, and it will tell you where you're at. And then we've got the Frida Fertility. These I'm loving, and not only the color, like who buys things just for the aesthetics? I do. I'll admit it. I love it. But I really have liked the Frida Fertility pregnancy. So I've got that. And then I've always got a couple digitals on hand. So I'll put those in there. And these are a game changer. I've looked into the Frida, I don't know what you call it, a pea cup. But these are great because they're just disposable. So I'll keep those in there. And then just because personally I've been back and forth with my cycles and a DNC, I'll usually put some pads and tampons in the front. So this is what my fertility bin looks like in my bathroom. And I can't forget this little guy here. Let me know if you have any questions, any suggestions, recommendations. But yeah. I've gone absolutely nuts. If you've never tested before and you're watching any of these videos, I know most people are like, I can't believe this person bought more tests, they're testing again. And then we have all done it, and like, I have gone to the nuts section of this. I have bought tests, I think 3 days in a row now. And I think now I'm more confused. Long story short, I had just talked to my doctor today, and I thought I was on 11 DPO, and I'm really good about like tracking, and what you don't know is exactly when you ovulate, even though you got the peak. So I think I'm actually 9 or 10 DPO, which is maybe as to why I haven't gotten the very, very faint line that the last 3 pregnancies I have on 8 DPO. Maybe today I'm actually 9 DPO. So I feel like that's stressing me out a little bit more, because now I'm like back a few days than I thought I was, but that's all right. Gives me a few extra days, a day or two. So anyways, I went to the store again, and I've never really cared for the blue dye line, but I was like, I just want to try it. So this one's a 5 days, 6 days before, and then when I do my regular Pregmate, by the way, it's like, I think it's like 6:30 p.m. right now. So I have been testing morning and afternoon. In my past pregnancies, I've always been really good about just like calm testing once a day. I have gone overboard. And I think it's because I did have the DNC a couple months ago, and so I'm just really eager. But these tests should be done here in about 30 seconds or so, and I'll show you. I've gone so overboard. I've done digitals already. Like, it's not good. But I feel like I have seen a very, very, very faint line on my Pregmate ones that I normally get the lines at like 8 DPO. So, okay, let's test these. I'm gonna look at the Pregmate ones first. I feel like there's just like such a faint line, but nothing that like stands out right away. And then these ones just look so weird. Like the blue color and the dye is like different colors, which I think is kind of odd. But I don't know if I'm seeing a line. Check back in the morning. So this is cycle day, or not cycle day, sorry. This is 10 DPO. And my cycle I got pregnant on last, almost 4 months ago before I had it was my DNC cycle. About cycle day 10 is when I saw like the faintest line. And so I'm hoping, sorry, I'm a mess. I just got back from Pilates, but I'm hoping that's what I can get on the test day. I have tested, and I'll show you for this cycle. I started actually testing it cycle day 5 just to see line progression. So I feel like I have been a little test crazy, but we all get like that. If you don't get like that, like, I admire you because I don't know what they call it, but like getting test crazy it's not fun, because I feel like that's all you think about, and like, yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. So you probably won't be able to see really anything at this point. All right, today I am 9 DPO and it is nighttime right now. This morning I took a first response and I could see the very, very faint line, and I'll insert it. And then I was like, I've got to take another one tonight, so I did, and it was, so this is this morning and then tonight, or I guess like 3 hours ago. You're just not gonna be able to see something on camera, but there's definitely like very, very, very faint line this morning. And then, oh, you can definitely see it on camera. This is like 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. So I told my husband, but now I feel like I need to take a digital. So it's super late at night. I'm gonna take this. And again, it's 9 DPO at night, so it may be a little too early, but I was quite surprised that I could see on the first response, and I couldn't see on any of my, let's see, on these two pregnancy strips, I couldn't see any line. So I saw it on the first response, not on these. We'll see if it comes up on digital. So these ones tell you when to stop. Okay, it says not pregnant, but I don't think these ones are the early digital. Well, it is 10 DPO at night, and my husband and I did the digital, and we got the positive pregnant. Another first response, and you can see there that it's easily to be seen on camera. I feel pretty obviously excited, a little like just stunned, just because this is like our, I think we're on month 6 of trying, and that includes like the month we got pregnant and then getting back on from the miscarriage. And so it's just, you know, it obviously gets a little every month is just like you're not sure what's gonna happen, and then you get let down, you know, because it does, you don't get that line. So I think like my emotions, I was telling my husband, I'm like, man, I feel like everybody's just always so excited, and like I'm so excited, I'm just stunned, and I'm just, I guess I'm more like holding back my emotions because I don't want to get let down again if something happens. And obviously, like, if something were to happen, like, those emotions would still be there. But just kind of guarding my emotions a little bit, I guess that's the right way to say it. But we are super excited. All right, just a little check-in. I really haven't done hardly any footage for this cycle 6, but what you have seen is we got a positive pregnancy on a first response test on 9 DPO, and then 10 DPO got a positive digital. So today, and then let me back up, I'll show it too, but 10 DPO was even darker, and then today, or sorry, and then 11 was getting darker as well. Today's 12 DPO, and it's making me a little nervous, but the line wasn't as dark this morning, and you know, it was first time I went to the bathroom, so I'm nervous that it's like gonna fade out. I also had already scheduled, my doctor is really kind, and you know, whatever tests I want to come in to get to make me feel more comfortable. And even from the last miscarriage, she said, you know, right as you find out that you're pregnant, message me and we'll get you in for an HCG test. And so that was today, 12 DPO. But like, oh, we're just crossing our fingers, staying positive. You know, that it's not anything crazy. But like, I mean, we all know, us trying to get pregnant, we're all crazy. Like, I bought 12 pregnancy tests in the last day. But a couple of them that I took yesterday were so faded. And I honestly don't think they were good, like a good batch, because then that night it was like darker. Anyhow, I'm just, you know, we all get in our mind, and we all say it, that, you know, like, we shouldn't be test crazy, and you just want to know, you just want to follow it. It keeps our mind busy. I mean, 9 months of pregnancy is a long time, so you gotta, you know, keep busy with something, I guess. Anywho, so I'll follow back up. In a couple hours, I should have the results of my HCG this morning at 12 DPO. I've got my pregnancies fixed for tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. I like to test morning and morning and night. I like to follow the trends, and then I get to go back in on Monday for another HCG test. But I'm hoping this is it's a sticky cycle, is what they call it. Okay, I told you I'd give you an update when I got the results, and of course, the one day that I'm like ready to compare everything, they make me wait forever to get the results. So I still feel really good about everything. So just to kind of refer back, test number 1 came back at 38, beta test number 2 came back at 273, and then 72 hours later, I've been doing it every 3 days, and it was just because that's how I started with a holiday and I couldn't go in. Normally you kind of just do it every 2 days, but it's all about the same. So levels today were 1206, so I'm like, that is still really good. It's jumping, it's not going down, and B, it just feels good, and I'm like a feelings person. So then my doctor, or the nurse, called, and she said they look great. We still want to check them, and then of course your heart, you know, is dropping, but you're like, that's okay. She just like wants it to get to that level of which then we can do an ultrasound. So she's like, maybe another week. So it's up to you if you want to go in 3 more days, or, you know, do every 2 days and see like the actual doubling effect. I don't know what you'd call that exactly, but so now I'm like slightly confused if I want to keep on the same 3-day schedule I've been doing. And not like any of this really matters, because it'll all like play out the same way if I go in 3 days or if I do 2 days. So anywho, so yeah, hopefully if I go back in 3 days, it will get to, I think it's got to be over the like, yeah, it'd be over like the 2400 range would be double. So yeah. Oh, I got my hair done too. You probably noticed in my previous videos, it was like my normal, that was actually my real hair color, and I had to go back blonde because it just always feels better, and I actually do it when it's blonde because I don't feel greasy. And anyways, on the side note, so it's just a whole new me. we're on a better track for 2024. It has been not our year. It has literally been one thing after the next. So I'm like really ready to have some good positive goals and events happen in our life, and this is a good start to it. Baby number 3. So cheers to the rest of 2024 and being a great one. And I guess honestly the next time I'll check in with you would be the next beta level when I might get my results. So I'll let you know then. There was another thing that I wanted to mention this morning. I'm just gonna call it my last pregnancy test. And because I've already spent like, you'll see, I probably spent a good $150 to $200 on pregnancy tests in the last like 4 months. So that's not good. But I didn't have any first response tests left like I had talked about previous. I've been doing those morning and night to see the line progression. And then I've been doing the Pregmate, and that's the other brand I kept forgetting, which I haven't loved. They just haven't produced very dark lines. Sorry, it's super bouncy on this road. And then the Modern Fertility brand that I had loved, I got a crazy dark line today, so that was really neat to see. They've been really dark, but so now that I feel like I'm really complete with this cycle of line progression and testing. So I'll post in some photos or videos here to show you. I obviously went crazy on the pregnancy test, but we all do it, so like I am not apologizing whatsoever. Like, I love doing it, I love seeing it. It works for me, and I'm sure there's so many of you out there that do the exact same thing, and hopefully you'll love to see it. But yeah, so I'll post that, and it's just it really is nice to just be like really complete with this cycle, and it feels good. So also, if you, again, I don't know because I haven't posted the Miscarriage video series as of right now, but if I do, it will kind of talk about my Mom Life fertility tracker in it. If I don't post it, I will also talk about it here a little bit. It's better if I hold this. But what you'll see in the photos and videos is the Mom Life fertility tracker that I created. And I actually created it back in 2017 when I got pregnant with my first. And unfortunately I didn't use it with my second because she was a surprise. But it was really nice to have, and it's just a really well kept, organized, kind of like a little planner, a tracker to keep all of your pregnancy tests together. And it's been 100% helpful to go back each month when I wasn't getting positive pregnancy tests to kind of see where I was at in ovulation, and just to refer back, and then also to refer back to it was like late February, I believe, when I did get the positive that ended up in the miscarriage. But like being able to compare the pregnancy tests to each other or the symptoms, it's just I love being able to visually see all of that. And I know there's so many apps out there. I even personally use the apps as well. But it's always nice to have like a good paper. It's like, reading a book on like a paperback book versus, something on a tablet. It's just, it feels different. So if you're curious and interested in that, I'll link that as well. It does come with essentially 12 cycles, 12 months of tracking. And yeah, it's just been really versatile and be able to like take it to my office, to my, you know, my bathroom, and look at the pregnancy test. And I think I have like an in-depth video too, but there's some good photos on my website as well, so check it out if you're interested. I've loved being able to really use like my final version on these last few months of trying to conceive. And then, like, a little spoiler alert, I do have a pregnancy planner as well, and I cannot wait to use that myself. I haven't put it out yet, so it's in the works of like being tested, and I'm so excited about it. It's basically something that you can purchase before conceiving, because it's really, it has some really good trackers, or sorry, not trackers, but, you know, checklists of things to do while trying to conceive, prepping to conceive, and then, you know, right as you find out, you can start preparing in your planner and going through the checklist. And what's really nice about it, I won't get too in depth with it, but what's really nice about it is that it's undated. And that's because, like, nobody has any idea when you're actually gonna get pregnant. So you can obviously start it whenever you get that positive and fill it out for the year. I think it's a 12-month. So, you know, it has either some months before you get pregnant or some months in your postpartum, because obviously you only need it for 9 months. And then it's absolutely a keepsake. So you can keep it, you can put your notes in it, you can track whatever you would like, and I'm adding so much more to it, and I'm so excited about it. I hope I'm able to release it and get it out there. It's been a work in progress. I can't wait to use it myself, but it's just one of those like personal projects that I hope, you know, will help somebody else. And so anyways, yeah, and I've just continued to ramble on, so I think I'm done now. Okay, I was able to look it up. So 83, 271, and these are all 3 days in between. 1206, and then the last one was 5401. So they definitely, even though I went, and they say every, you know, 48 to 72 hours, so it's a double every couple days. Yeah, I went every 3 days, pretty much at the exact same time in the morning. So all the levels looked really great. My doctor said we didn't need to do any more, and I felt good about them as well, or else I would have asked for some more. But it's just nothing that you can like change. So I just felt like there's no reason to stress over it. I felt like they were really good, and they were way better than my levels when I got pregnant last before my DNC. They were just overall higher, even though my last ones were doubling. They just were super low from the start, which can still result in a great pregnancy. It just never felt great to me, and this one does. So anywho, that was about a week and a half ago, and so my doctor is really great about getting me in since I had the DNC. So I actually go in, let's see, I think tomorrow I should be about 6 weeks. So about 6.5 weeks, I'll go in next week and get my first ultrasound done. So hopefully at that point we can see baby. And I'm really nervous for that one, because that's when the same time frame I went to a local shop that's called Fetal Photos, and they couldn't find anything. So we just thought maybe I was just earlier than I thought I was, and then, you know, they got me to the doctor and they still couldn't see anything. So I am really nervous about this next one, but I'm hopeful. And then I've got my next 2 appointments set up, which is like my doctor's office. You have to do like an intake appointment, so it's just show up and go over everything that's in your past. And then I got my 12-week appointment set up for in November. And so, yeah, overall, this one feels way better than the last pregnancy. And I don't know, I don't even know if I'm ever going to post these because I've never been one to do vlogging, and I don't know that I'm good at it, but it does help me talk through things. So whether or not I post it, it's here. But I don't know if I'm going to do like weekly updates or bi-weekly updates. That's something I even want to choose to do and post. But I would say for my 5-week update right now, it started, right as I turned about 5 weeks last week. I was laid in bed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, I could not get out of bed. I was so nauseous. I was dizzy, so tired. And the nausea was just like sitting in, my stomach. So I wasn't throwing up. I did with my last 2 girls a lot. And it always would make you feel so much better after you thrown up. So I was like, oh, can I just please throw up and, feel better? But that wasn't the case with these ones. I was just like, I just couldn't throw up. I just didn't want to eat. Nothing sounded good. I've got the food aversions going on. And just the nausea. So I finally, messaged into the nurse and was like, can I get some Zofran? I've been on it before. It works really well for me. So they're really good. Got me Zofran right away. And then I just use it as needed, so I don't feel like, I'm not going to put it into my body if, I don't need it, which I've been great today. So it just kind of comes and goes. I have noticed that it definitely, I start getting the nausea, super tired when I need to eat. And of course, nothing sounds good. I don't want to eat. So then you're having to force yourself, something decent to eat. So I'll take a little Zofran, and then that helps me get some food in my stomach, feel a little bit better. So it's just, honestly, it's a day by day, hour by hour situation, and I'm grateful for it all. But yeah, I was actually talking to a friend earlier today, and I was like, man, I cannot remember when my nausea had started with my other 2 babies. They were pretty much the same. I just don't feel like it started this early. I could be wrong. But anywho, so that would be about my 5-week update. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I still, sleep is never happens when I'm pregnant. I'm so uncomfortable from the start, which is so weird because it's not like, baby's so tiny. It's not like you've, have this massive stomach in front of you. But yeah, I'm so uncomfortable when I'm pregnant from the start. Kind of got like that sniffles, stuffy sickness. Not really sick, but you just are stuffy. And another really big one at night is I'm always so cold before bed, like freezing. And then, a few hours into sleep, I wake up and I am sweating. So it's just these hot and cold flashes. I mean, maybe not quite sweating, but I'm just so hot. Back and forth. But yeah, so other than that, pretty good. And I'm excited to tell my family. I've told a couple good friends of mine, and I think we're gonna do. It's so hard because when you've done like little surprise gender and reveals and things in the past, and it ended up resulting in D&C. It's kind of hard to get excited to do it again, because then you're like, oh, what if it happens again? But I still believe that you should make those memories and enjoy what you do have.